Good morning. My name is Daniel Murray, and this is my case study to EDL 856, Parental Apathy. Category 1, Problem Identification Analysis. What do I know? Ms. Rose was a new assistant principal at John F. Kennedy School. She has been at JFK for 4 months now. She has completed her educational administration degree during the summer and was looking forward to her new position as assistant principal. Her school has limited programs with little contact with parents on school involvement and the larger community. Ms. Rose approached her principal about her concerns and ideas about forming a PTO and PTA committee and increasing parent involvement. Her principal was not receptive to the idea of forming a PTO or PTA group in the first meeting. In the second meeting, the principal agreed to forming a PTO and PTA meeting for the parents to see who would be interested in it. But he was very honest with Ms. Rose and said, regardless of turnout, he's not planning on forming those committees, but possibly a parent advisory group. Announcement was distributed to students at the end of the day Friday, informing students and parents about a special meeting on parent involvement in the school. What do you need to know? Has JFK School had a PTO or PTA committee before? Why is the head principal so opposed to forming a PTO and PTA committee group in the school? Does John F. Kennedy have any other forms of communication besides parent phone calls? Why was the announcement handed out to students describing the PTO and PTA meeting to parents as a special meeting instead of labeling it as a PTO or PTA informational meeting? And then why did a parent show up to the meeting? Did the announcements that were passed out to students fail to reach the parents? As a teacher, I know that sometimes if something goes in a student's backpack, it's not going to necessarily make it back to the parents as intended. It may just be buried in the bottom of the backpack. Category 1, identify the problem. I see 3 problems in this case study. The first one is Ms. Rose having to get her principal on board to forming a PTO and PTA committee and actually following through with it instead of going through all the steps to form it but not actually putting it into place and forming the groups. The second one is announcement was passed out to students Friday before the end of the day about a special meeting that following Monday about parent involvement. Why was only a announcement sent home with parents, or why that? But then why wasn't why didn't they look to doing an automated phone call to parents, informing them of a special meeting that following Monday for the parents to come to? And then the last problem is Ms. Rose is encountering is that the only form of communication with parents is through phone calls. I feel like phone calls are not necessarily the best way to reach parents sometimes, but a lot of them respond to emails rather quickly. Category 2, proposed plan of action and appropriate strategies for implementation. My plan of action is I would continue to meet with the principal to develop a plan of action to improve parent involvement in John F. Kennedy School. I would encourage Ms. Rose to reach out to surrounding school districts to gather input on the school's parents' involvement and how they implemented it in their school. I would work to improve John F. Kennedy's methods of communication to their faculty, parents, and staff by looking into using multiple technology platforms to effectively inform parents of school communication. I would work towards having a weekly newsletter that's sent out via email. To make it kind of personal, I would even go to doing a video flash where it's either the assistant principal, the head principal that is talking to the parents of what is going on at their school, how it's going to affect the students, and what parents should plan for in the following weeks. And then, a monthly newsletter as well that has a calendar that has all important dates and functions going on at the school as well. So parents are informed, they can put it on their calendar, and that way everyone is on the same page of what is going on at JFK on those days. And then I would meet with the principal and encourage him to delegate tasks to his assistant principals. Have him share the workload with the assistant principal so he's not trying to take care of that to where it leads to his decision of, 2 more things on my plate is too much. I don't want to deal with it. But if he delegated tasks to assistant principals, maybe he'd be more receptive to forming a group. Category 3, resolve the issue based on promoting the success of all students. What is best for the students? I would openly address faculty, staff, students, and parents on the administration's vision of improving parent involvement in the school. I would also assure them that appropriate protocols will be put in place to ensure proper screening of volunteers that will be in the school to ensure student, faculty, and building safety as well. Ms. Rose and the rest of the administration team work together to establish an effective and efficient way to communicate with their parents, faculty, and staff. Ms. Rose and the principal meet weekly to discuss and evaluate parents' response to PTA, PTO, and other opportunities to give back to the school as well. I will continue to work on improving parent involvement within the school and work towards developing a stronger community relationship. Category 4, debriefing the problem by reflecting on what you were thinking, feeling, and valuing, and by identifying issues that are unresolved or open to further investigation. Thinking, feeling, and valuing, reflecting on my students' parents' response to the short notice of the special meeting that following Monday. Ms. Rose was dismayed by her principal's response to creating a PTO and PTA committee. The school's well-being due to the lack of parent involvement through volunteering. Does this cause additional stress to my faculty? Lack of importance of communication between John F. Kennedy School and students' parents. Ms. Rose's lack of administrative experience needs to reach out to surrounding school administrators on how they encourage parent involvement on volunteering their time in the school. Unresolved issues and further investigations. Parents' response to receiving a short notification about a special meeting being held that following Monday evening. The principal's cause to his reservations about forming a PTO and PTA committee. Does Ms. Rose have any reservations about her principal's decision to not form a PTO or PTA committee as well? Does Ms. Rose lack administrative experience hinder her ability to connect with the parents and her principal to follow through? Category 5. Reflect on Standard 2 by providing evidence that you, as an educational leader, promotes the academic success of personal well-being of every student by enhancing instructional capacity. As an educational leader, promotes the academic success and personal well-being of every student by enhancing instructional capacity. I would work to improve JFK's school communication between parents. Work to provide weekly newsletter, video flash, emails, and automated phone calls to parents. I'd continue to meet with my principal to have a better understanding of his reservations in forming a PTO and PTA committee, but also put out there that I'd be willing to take that on myself and take that out of his hands as well. The following year, I would have a sign-up table for parents to sign up to volunteer in the school and provide more information on volunteering opportunities, but also on forming a PTO and PTA group. This could be at, meet your teacher night, where students will come in, get a feel for the school, put all their stuff in their lockers, but then also meet the administrative team and their teachers as well. I would also conduct a questionnaire with my faculty to see if any of them would be interested in leading a subcommittee within the group, appointing those teachers that have strong leadership qualities to leadership roles to allow them to be successful. I would provide proper support for them as well. Promote the possible personal well-being of every student by enhancing instructional capacity. I'd continue to be open with my faculty and provide proper support for them through encouraging them to reach out to parents for volunteer and more involvement in the school. By encouraging parent involvement in the school, will help promote the school support through the community, but then also it'll help build a positive community relationship with the small businesses in the community as well. My students, faculty, and parents should be well informed of any school functions, meeting, and other important school information. That is all. Thank you for listening. It's been fun working with you guys in class this course. Have a great summer and a good year.